Hey everyone, I hope you all are having a great day. We're going to be starting our week 2 of being remote, working from home. I hope everyone's staying safe in light of the coronavirus. So I wanted to start this video to thank everyone again for your kind words about my videos last week and the week before, talking a little bit about what I'm doing in my classes, what assignments I'm going to be trying to transform and plan out for the rest of the semester since we're all going to be virtual. So I did a short video a while ago looking at what I'm doing for my advanced social media strategy class with my graduate students using Zoom to host a digital workshop. So one of the assignments that I'm actually having my students do is they are going to be hosting a digital workshop on a topic of their choice. So ultimately, we wanted to do this in person. That was the plan for the semester, but now we get to do this all online through Zoom. And I actually tell the students that I think is really going to be helpful for them. You know, they're going to be able to create a digital asset that they'll be able to share and download and basically show what they're doing in and out the classroom. So we're going to actually start that conversation this week. And I'm a professor that whenever I tell my students that I'm assigning them to do something, whether it's a project, a particular element of a PR plan or social media plan, or something like this, a workshop, I always tell them that these are assignments and activities that I'm doing myself as a professor, not only for class, but also in my work outside of the classroom, whether it's presentations, virtual summits, which I participated in a few of them last week, actually 3 presentations. So I was pretty busy. But tomorrow, March 23rd, in my advanced social media strategy class, we're meeting on Zoom, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to actually start our workshops, and guess who's first? So it gives an idea for the students to kind of see what I'm looking for, how to format, what are the different components that I'm looking for, how long it should be. So that'll be what we'll be doing tomorrow. So let me show you the details of, again, part 2 of utilizing Zoom to host a digital workshop. So how to use Zoom for a digital workshop. So it's pretty easy. So one of the things you want to first and foremost make sure that you have in place is your sign-in. So you want to make sure that you're sending out all of the invitation details to your students with your title, saying, okay, this is going to be Karen Freeberry's workshop presentation. You're making sure everyone's invited, everyone's aligned. You do want to make sure that you have a couple of minutes, buffered, to before you start the session, so you're able to kind of set the overall tone, making sure everyone's available. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, so you'll be able to see what I'm actually doing. So you probably are able to see, my desktop. So I have a couple of things that I have here that I wanted to share with you. So for this assignment, I actually have the students work on delivering 2 elements. So in our person meeting, I basically said that, these workshops should be something that you would be able to do on your own if you wanted to host a workshop in your local community, or if you were doing something related to a conference, a local event. But ultimately, this assignment was geared towards preparing students to, one, present, an area or topic that they're very passionate about, that they want to continue, get experience in, and that they want to be known for this topic. And 2, this is an opportunity for, the students to get feedback from their classmates, saying, oh, I really like what you did here. Wow, I got so much knowledge. This was something that I really liked and anticipated. So what I had the students do is pick a topic that they're very passionate about. So I didn't assign topics. I said, everyone has to have a different topic, but I want something that you'd be really passionate in sharing with your fellow classmates, and that you see yourself doing more of these types of presentations later on. So I have everyone from doing YouTube to looking at sports and social media to healthcare and social media. So there's a lot of different topics. So I wanted the students to be very passionate about their subject. So what I wanted to do for my workshop is push myself a little bit. So I've done workshops in crisis communications, media relations, social media strategy, personal branding. I've done all of those. So I told the students, well, I'm going to do something that I haven't done before. I am going to actually do a workshop focusing on how to use Spark AR. So if you're not familiar with Spark AR, it is a Facebook-owned platform that allows creators to create augmented reality assets. So face filters, the little Instagram filter that, you basically, are able to see various components. So you also see AR elements that you can put into the feature. So there's a lot of things. So that is actually what I'm going to do. But there's two things I'm asking the students to basically create as part of the workshop. One is a slide deck. So in every presentation, every workshop, you're going to probably have some sort of slide deck that you're going to have to present, project on a screen, share with audiences. And usually these are, of course, created through handouts. But if you also want to have some sort of another digital asset that you want to share too, you want to have some sort of handout as well, along with your slide deck. So what I went ahead and do is I'm a big visual person. Like I've always been a visual person as a student and especially as a professor. I want to make sure that what I create is visually stimulating for audience members. So I kept it pretty simple, thanks to Canva. So I actually created my handout as an infographic, how to use Spark AR. So I basically listed 6 elements. But ultimately what you want to do for these workshops is to provide value, to provide your audience members more than what they expect. Always over deliver. That has been a rule of thumb in my belief. And, besides, people might be thinking, well, I'm very protective of my ideas. I don't want to give too much away. Be generous with your knowledge, because if you're viewed as a resource, that's really good. So let us go to the slideshow so you can basically kind of see basically what I have. So what I'm going to have the students do is have, of course, a title slide talking about what they're focusing on. So for me, how to use Spark AR. Of course, my contact information, Twitter, obviously, is a major element for me. And then what I want to do too, to kind of, again, this is not the official, workshop presentation that I'm looking for, but what you want to do is set the tone. Just remember, kind of your setup, making sure everyone's on board. So I'm not asking the students to create this exact slide, but this is just a guideline to kind of frame the way this digital workshop is going to go forward on Zoom. It's like, you want to have a welcome, you want to introduce yourself, you want to make sure that your audience members know that they need to mute their microphones and videos before you get started, just so you have not that many distractions, right? Because if you see people do things in the background, it might distract you. And so this is going to be my class's first introduction to doing this on Zoom. You want to make sure everything is calm, easy, and everything. So I'm going to ask the students to do this for my presentation, even though I've done a lot of presentations before. And then Q&A will be done at the workshop. And so what I'm also going to be doing too is I'm going to be recording my workshop. So I'm going to make sure that the students understand that this is something that they need to have as part of their assets that they're able to do. They can upload this on their YouTube channel, they can edit it, and be able to provide that as an additional asset that they can have as part of their portfolio. So basically, how to set agenda, discussion on augmented reality, what is Spark AR, pretty straightforward, talking about the benefits, showing some examples of AR. Unfortunately, Instagram won't approve any new AR reality effects because of the coronavirus, so that's a bummer. You got to roll with it, but at least, like the students know that this is a feature that and piece of content that they can create. And, still, even though it's not going to be approved, what they're creating, they can still create things that when everything is back to normal, they'll be able to upload. And then I think, the steps in terms of how to create it. So keep in mind, these workshops are not like hours upon hours of long. I'm actually having these students, they need to present all of these elements in less than 20 minutes. So it's not a long workshop. It's like really, really quick. So I'm going through these slides pretty quickly just because I want to kind of show with you guys. If you guys saw like a 20+ minute workshop video on this, you might be like, okay, Dr. Freeberg Karen is kind of off her rocker here, but I'm going to show you. So you want to have the steps outlined here. And then I actually have a screenshot of what Spark AR looks like. So I actually thought it'd be kind of cool to, kind of put an AR element of my social media book cover, out there in the world. So I'm like, that is pretty cool. So I kind of played around a little bit initially there, but I wanted to at least give the students an idea of what this, program looked like. So Spark AR, by the way, is free. It's really fun to use. And if you've had experience with Adobe, highly, highly recommend it. And then you ultimately want to have resources for Spark AR. So I included a couple of links here for the students to not download it per se, but just bookmark, in terms of how they can use Spark AR. So there's tutorials, there's step-by-steps, there's a whole guide on this. So what I ultimately want the students to realize is to always leave with resources. Always give people more than what they've expected in any case. And this is a rule of thumb in all situations, all presentations, is always be willing to share. So that is basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have the students, open up to questions and comments, ask me questions about there. And so then at that point, I can go through, a little bit more and show them the details about Spark AR and the platform, open up the hyperlinks, etc. So it's a little bit more interactive. So yeah, no, I'm really excited about this assignment. It's relatively new, and this is definitely something that I personally have not done in a class before. I've done workshops, but this is the first time I'm doing something like this with my students using Zoom. But in the case of everyone going online, we need to be adaptive. So I might stick with the coffee background for Zoom, but we'll see how that goes. I'll probably be dressed a little bit differently to be more professional and aligned with an official workshop presentation. But I just wanted to share, some quick tips, what I'm doing, and giving an update on how I am utilizing Zoom for digital workshops. So let me know if you all have any difficult questions, and hope all is going well, and go Cards.